Let's see if we have some magic smoke. Ta-na-na-na, ta-na-na-na. Well, this is good news. No signal is exactly what I was expecting. Let's plug in an HDMI cable now. And oh my god, it's working. Nothing exploded and the USB port can power everything. Thumbs up for that. Well, hello there. So, funny thing happened today. I remembered I had a YouTube channel. So if you watched my video about building a battery-powered desktop PC, you remember that I took it outside in a park and was playing some games. If not, you can watch the video right there. And the screen that I bought for that, it was a portable screen, which you can see in the same video, was honestly horrible. And I decided to make one myself. I had a few criteria for what I wanted to build. First of all, it had to be powered via USB Type-C because we are in 2019. I also wanted to use not proprietary connectors like the screen that I bought was using. And also I wanted the connectors to be in the back and in the middle and not on the side. And I built this. What is this? This is a plastic box, but if you take the lid off, you have a screen. I'm actually using it, so it got dusty. And this is the screen. As you can see, it's 10 inches. I mean, I don't know if you can see 10 inches, but it's 10 inches in diagonal. And on the back, it has the control buttons for the screen, for menu and volume and so on, and also my logo. And this is a flap, and behind a flap, which is the stand as well, by the way, you have the cables. You have one HDMI cable and one USB 3 to Type-C cable, which plug in right there. That's the Type-C and this is the input. And this screen can just simply sit like this, and you can adjust the angle. What I used here, it's a hinge from a laptop, which I cut and modify, and then I 3D printed these parts, which I'll show you later in the video. When you are not using the cables, you can simply store them here like you saw. You close the flap, put the cover, and you just put it in your backpack and you're on. Okay, so because this tiny one is a TN panel and has poor visibility angles, and it's also only 10 inches. I've also built a second one, which is much slimmer as well, as you can see, and much larger. This is using an IPS panel. It's a 13.3 inches panel from I think HP. The cover, it's actually a cover for a Samsung tablet, which I've modified to fit this screen. It fits really well. I also had to 3D print these edges because it was a bit short. So I printed everything here. The cutout for the camera of the tablet, it's actually filled with hot glue and has a very nice shape. And it's perfect for my finger to hold it like this. And if you open it, you can use the stand and you can adjust the angles as much as you want. And also you can carry the cables right there. It's powered as well by a Type-C connector, and here is a normal HDMI. And you can take the cables out of here, you can disconnect them from there. This is the power one, and you can put it on the left or on the right as you want, and then adjust the angle here. This is very nice. It's very useful as a second external screen for my laptop when I travel. It's good for productivity, and because it's Type-C, I can even power it from my phone charger as well. So if you like these ones, let me know in the comments. Please subscribe for more videos like this, when I will eventually put other videos, if I will. Probably not.
You will.
I will. But they are built similarly. They have the same components inside. I will show you how I built this one because this took a long time. In order to use the screen, you take your laptop. By the way, remember this laptop from one of my previous videos. You connect the USB 3 cable to one of the USB ports of the laptop. Now you will see a message hopefully saying, yeah, no signal here. And then you connect the HDMI cable. Here you go. And as you can see, this is a much better screen. It's an IPS panel compared to the TN panel of the old laptop. And here you go. So here is where everything started. I built this 5 years ago since I needed an easy to carry portable screen to troubleshoot my machines. This is a 10-inch screen from a netbook for which I made a cardboard enclosure from a shoebox. It's wrapped in a carbon fiber vinyl to make it faster. Inside, the screen is just hot glue on the edges and the controller board is glued on the back of the screen. I got this board from eBay, by the way. You just type the screen model followed by control board and you'll find yours. This board has all the necessary inputs: power, HDMI, DVI, VGA, and as well as audio in and out. I will add a USB Type-C connector to power it, but I still want to keep the 12 volts power input as well. Then I will design and print a case for this. In order to add USB Type-C charging, I will use this USB Type-C female breakout board. If my camera eventually focuses, you will see that all this board does is to take each pin of the Type-C connector and terminate it into an easy to solder connection. From the Type-C board, I will use a DC to DC converter to boost the 5 volts provided by the USB Type-C port to the 12 volts used by the controller board. Just for testing purposes, I will use this 12 volts male jack to plug into the screen board. This will be removed later since I want to solder the wires coming out of the DC converter on the back of the controller board to still keep the option to power on the board directly on the 12 volts. In order to decide where to solder the wires on the Type-C board, I just connected my phone charger and I started to measure the voltages between the pins. Because the Type-C connector is reversible, I've noticed there are 4 negative terminals, the 4 ones at the edges, and also 5 positive wires, yes, somehow 5 and not 4. What I will do is to connect all the negatives together and all the positives, so this way I will keep the reversibility of the port. It's time-lapse time! Okay, let's see if we blow up the house. So I will connect the Type-C cable. Here we should have 5 volts. That's close enough. And on the output we should have 12 volts, so it seems we have more. Let's change the scale. 28. Let's decrease this from the potentiometer. Na 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 Batman. Na 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 Batman. Perfect. Okay, the moment of truth now. Let's connect the screen and see if the boost converter has enough power to power on the screen. I'll disconnect the Type-C for the moment and connect the 12 volts plug. I don't know why, I guess it makes me feel safer. And please work, please work, please work, please. Yes, it works. I mean, of course it works. I was confident all the time it will work. I never doubted. Now let's try the input. Perfect. Let's see if it works from the USB port of the laptop and not only from the phone charger. Yes, in video. This is so cool. I guess I deserve for you to subscribe if you didn't. Now I soldered the wires on the back of the 12-volt jack, so let's see if I broke it or if it's still working. Oh wow, this is a great day. What about the 12 volts wall adapter? This is the smallest 12 volts adapter I could find in my house. It's 2 amps. Hooray! Time to print the case. And after exactly 7 hours of printing, I got the screen bezel part. And yes, it's night. Next one is a back cover. This took almost 12 hours. And this is the stand, which only took 2.5 hours. Okay, so this is the back cover. I designed everything in SolidWorks. As you can see, the laptop hinge is already mounted. This is how the hinge looked before, and I had to cut a lot of it to make it fit. This part took ages to design and I had to come up with multiple iterations of the same design until I got it right. This is why I love 3D printing. I think about something and design it and print it until it works how I want it to work. This last red part is actually the final shape and I just integrated into the final design of the cover. Let me know if you want to see a SolidWorks tutorial on how I've designed the parts. Same thing with the buttons cutouts. In order to make them fit, I firstly designed the buttons part and printed it until it fit and then integrated the part into the final design. By the way, this is all the support material. I'm so pleased with the print. Even if it's printed in the draft quality, it still has the correct tolerances for the cutouts. Oh, and the other side of the hinge is just this cylindrical pin. And this is the screen bezel part. I've already glued the screen in place. The back cover will contain all the electronics and it will slide inside this bezel part and the rest on these 4 stands. I will glue it in place as well. Now it's time to mount the electronics inside, and if my measurement is correct, everything should fit nicely. And look at this, everything fits so nicely. From the back the ports are recessed 2 mm, and if we look on the other side we will see that all the components fit snugly. I'm very pleased with this fitment. Before connecting the back side with the screen side, we have to mount the stand, which should fit tightly over the cut laptop hinge, and on the other side be held in place with a 3D printed pan. Just like that. And it holds perfectly the weight. And the only thing left is to connect the screen part. And it just have a tiny screen. So you put the power in, and then you put your HDMI. And here you go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and also please share it with your friends. That is, if you have any.